going to slip into news break that is just coming in. News on the missing Dornier aircraft. Well, it seems that the missing Dornier aircraft remains have now been found. That's the latest that is coming in. Parts of the ill-fated Dornier aircraft wreckage have been recovered at a depth of 950 meters. The craft went missing 33 days ago on the June 8th. I want to go across to my colleague Jugal, who's joining us with more information on this. You know, Jugal, this was a campaign also which was taken over by the family members of those officers missing. Can you give us details on what's been found?
Well, what we know is that a vessel owned by the Reliance Industries Limited called the Olympic Canyon, which was specifically requested for by the Indian Coast Guard because it has special capabilities, including a remotely operated vehicle which can go to an unlimited depth. We were looking at a depth of almost 1,000 meters here beneath the surface where the wreckage was likely to be, and we must inform our viewers that the wreckage has been found at a depth of 950 meters. It's a depth at which no submarine can reach. No salvage operations have been done. If I am given to understand is right, at that kind of a depth, only a remotely operated vehicle, which was a part of this RIL vessel called the Olympic Canyon, could and with its 4 cameras, which could give you 360-degree view, the wreckage was found. I'm also given to understand the most important part behind this controversy of the plane going missing all of a sudden. The flight data recorder has also been found. This is a very, very big relief for the Indian forces, the Coast Guard, the Government of India, who are astounded by one of its most stable, sturdy, and one of the most long-standing planes in Indian Armed Forces going missing all of a sudden, simply vanishing from the radar. The flight data recorder has been found, and it will go a long way in explaining just what took place on board.
You know, Jugal, just stay with me. I'm going to go across to Shiv as well. But a quick question there, Jugal. You've been speaking to the family members of those who were on the ill-fated aircraft. They've been carrying out a campaign for the last 1 month as well. You know, we can't even seem to verbalize, the tragedy that this is. But some sort of the beginning of closure there for them?
Absolutely, Preeti. In fact, the time when there is just nothing found is the worst time for any family. So the family members were consulting astrologers. The family members were led by all sorts of ideas, and that's what happens when you are waiting in hope for more than a month without having a trace of your loved ones, especially. Now, what happens from here is something that we'll have to wait and watch. We're still awaiting the official word from the Indian Coast Guard about the fate of the 3 missing personnel on board. Let's wait for what they have to say, Preeti. But yes, this will of course mean a lot to them, especially now that the plane at least has been found, because there were all sorts of controversies whether this plane had landed in some spot and wasn't being traced at all. So this will obviously give some kind of a sense, but let's wait for the official word from the Coast Guard.
We're going to keep tracking that, Jugal. Thank you for joining us. Let's get a quick word in from Shiv. You know, Shiv, could you also highlight the importance of the fact that the black box has been found, keeping in mind that over 33 days and we couldn't trace this aircraft at all?
Very good question, Preeti. I think there are extremely serious questions for the Indian military, given that such an enormous effort had to be, deployed, and such huge numbers of force had to be deployed to actually find this one single aircraft. Apart from the human tragedy of this, and let's just say that the story really is about families and whether they can find closure. Remember, we're awaiting, final confirmation on the fate of the crew from the Indian Coast Guard, which is expected in just a short while from now. But I think the point you raise is definitely the most important one, Preeti. The fact that an aircraft like the Dornier, which has had a virtually spotless safety record, extremely sturdy aircraft, could go missing over the Bay of Bengal, where India has a lot of radar cover anyway. It could go missing, and it could, remain missing for such a long time. It raises extremely serious questions for India's maritime awareness, maritime domain awareness, its ability to actually, respond to emergencies of this kind, which happened just a couple of months ago with the same aircraft belonging to the Navy on the west coast, Preeti. So right now, as far as the black box being found, absolutely crucial. As you well know, this is the beginning of, what will be, perhaps an extensive investigation into what precisely went wrong and why that aircraft actually went down. Because as you rightly know, this is a sturdy aircraft. an aircraft that didn't have any problems. In fact, Preeti, this aircraft was barely a couple of years old.
Right.
It was all virtually brand new, so nothing should have actually gone wrong with a very qualified and professional crew. So, the secrets of what really happened in this tragedy can begin to be known now, along with closure for those three families, Preeti.
Well, that's also something to highlight, the human tragedy of it all. Over 33 days, the family of the officers on board, no clue on what had happened to their loved ones. We're going to keep getting the very latest. Appreciate you, gentlemen, for joining us. Thank you, Shiv and Jugal. With that, slipping into a quick break to...